In this video, we will discuss reference angles. The reference angle for any angle in standard position is the positive acute angle between the terminal side of the angle and the x-axis. So, for example, in quadrant 1, the reference angle is actually equal to the angle itself. In quadrant 2, the reference angle is 180 minus the angle. In quadrant 3, the reference angle is the angle minus 180, and in quadrant 4, the reference angle is 360 minus the angle. In these examples here, alpha is the reference angle. Okay. So this will allow us to find values of our 30, 60, 90, and 45, 45 right triangles. So I like to draw a picture each time. So we want sine of 240. So if we notice 240 is over here in quadrant 3. Okay, the angles are 0, 90, 180, 270. Okay, so in quadrant 3, our reference angle, I'll put REF, reference angle, is equal to the angle 240 minus 180. Notice in all of these examples, we do not use the vertical axis. Okay, it's always with the horizontal axis x. So that's 60 degrees. So I know that my reference angle here is 60. So knowing that, I can draw a picture. Across from 60 is root 3, 2, across from 30 is 1. So the sine of 240. Now, I have to remember what quadrant I'm in. And in quadrant 3, both the x value and the y value, if we write it as an ordered pair, they're both negative. So sine of 240 is equal to opposite negative square root of 3 over 2. And we will be looking at the unit circle coming up. Now, let's look at tangent. So the first thing we want to do is to draw a picture. So again, where's 315 degrees? 0, 90, 180, 270. So now our angle, starting from the x-axis, is in quadrant 4. And in quadrant 4, our reference angle is 360 minus the angle, which is 315. So our reference angle is 45 degrees. Okay. And again, we can draw a picture. Now, I know my sides are 1, 1 square root of 2. So tangent is opposite over adjacent. And again, in quadrant 4, for an ordered pair, your points are positive, negative. So tangent of 315 is equal to negative 1. So let's look at some more examples. Okay, cosecant of 300. Now, cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So we're going to look at 1 over sine of 300. So again, drawing a picture of 0, 90, 180, 270, I'm going to end up in quadrant 4. 360 minus 300 gives me a 60 degree angle. So once again, our reference angle is 60. Goes right here. It's with the x-axis. Crossing the 60 is root 3. And again, that's negative. 1 and 2. So sine of 300 would equal to opposite over hypotenuse, negative root 3 over 2. So therefore, cosecant of 300 is equal to negative 2 over square root of 3. Okay, cosine of 495. Notice an entire circle is 360 degrees. So that means we're going to go around more than one time. So it's 360. So let's see, 495 minus 360 is coterminal with 135. That's over here in quadrant 2. So in quadrant 2, 180 minus 135 is 45. That gives us a 45 degree reference angle. 45 degree is 1 root 2. Again, remember the x value is negative if we look at it as an ordered pair. So cosine of 495, so that is coterminal with the angle 135. Cosine of 495 is negative 1 over root 2. Now, we can also use our calculator to solve these. And a good rule of thumb might be to go ahead and check these on the calculator as you're working until you feel more comfortable with the angles. So what we're going to do here is we are going to type in, and then we will talk about our answers. So, for example, cosine of 238 degrees. If I do cosine of 238, I get negative 0.5299. Normally we round to 4 decimal places. That's what we're going to do. Now, secant's a little bit tricky. We're going to do 1 over cosine of 590.9. Notice with the calculator, we don't have to worry about reference angles or finding coterminal angles. And we get negative 1.5856. Sine of 167, that's in quadrant 2, sine is positive, 0.224. Okay, here's what I get, 495. There's a slight problem here. That 5 would tell you round, so we're going to say approximately 0.2250. And you're going to need that 0 there because I would like it around to 4 decimal places. Tangent of 254 is 3.4874. Use the information and the calculator to find theta. So now we're finding the angle to the nearest tenth of a degree. So again, the first thing I like to do is think about it. We could draw a picture being in quadrant 1. So how do we do this? We're going to do theta is equal to tangent inverse of 0.5890. So being in quadrant 1, what we're looking for is this angle, which will also be equivalent to the reference angle. And I get 30.49. 498. And again, rounding it to 1 decimal place. So we're going to say theta is approximately 30.5 degrees. So if I check that tangent of 30.5, I get 0.5890. And we get the same answer. Okay, secant is 1 over cosine. So if secant is negative 3.4159, and that should be secant theta. So cosine theta is equal to 1 over negative 3.4159. So theta is equal to cosine inverse of negative 1 over 3.4159. So cosine inverse, negative 1 divided by 3.4159. And we get 107.02, so approximately 107.0 degrees. And that's in quadrant 2. Find theta in 360 degrees, including 0 degrees for the given information. So again, theta is equal to cosine inverse of root 3 over 2. Okay, now that should be a negative. That negative sign is hard to see, so let me correct that there. So negative root 3 over 2. So I can use the graphing calculator. and we get 150 degrees. Or I could remember that when I see square root of 3, 2, 1, 1, and square root of 2, those numbers, those would be our special right triangles. So if I know cosine is square root of 3 here, 2, the angle across from square root of 3 is 60. So that makes that a 30-degree angle. So to get that angle, I can do 180 minus the reference angle, which is 150 degrees. Or we could just use the calculator. Now, as we continue on in our trig class, we will have to be drawing pictures and thinking about where the angles are. Okay, so cosecant theta is the reciprocal function of sine. So sine of theta is equal to 1/2. And again, if I know it, and I draw my picture, 1 opposite over hypotenuse, then I know across from the 1 is 30. So this answer should be, so just a second, theta is equal to sine inverse of 1/2. If you notice, these are exact values. So theta is equal to 30 degrees. So a lot of times, if we look at the special right triangles, we can actually get values without using the calculator. I'm just going to double check on the calculator here, and I get 30 degrees. Okay, so I hope you have a great day.